Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Becca, and here on my little corner of the web I like to talk about budgeting and lifestyle. And today I am sharing my November 2021 budget recap, or wrap up. So I work out of my plum paper planner and I create these budget sheets to match the sticker subscription that they provide. So that is what I am budgeting in. So November was a good income month. We've been having routinely more income than I've been budgeting for the past couple months, which is great. And I'm super blessed about that and lucky because we've been able to put more towards our financial goals, but we've also had several more expenses, especially as the holidays get closer, and then we've just had a lot of auto expenses. So I will show you all of that. So if you're new here, I live with my husband Jared. We own our home and we live in the kind of Dallas area, and we are both kind of self-employed, but I also work for a nonprofit part-time, and I do not share the first three sources of income for Jared's privacy because he doesn't ask to be on the internet, but I do share my business income. So I recently launched, and by recently launched, I mean I launched at the beginning of 2020, but I didn't get serious about my business as an event planner. I'm an event and wedding planner until this past August when I was able to quit my job because we paid off all of my debt, which was my student loans. So I am sharing how much I'm taking home for my business just for transparency purposes, and I am super excited to be at a place where I finally am taking home money for my business and not, putting my own money into it. So this month, and that's the name of my business, Shoestring Flings. So this month I was able to take home $353.45. And how I've been doing this is I'm calculating the number of, expenses that I have and setting aside money for taxes. And then every time I get a client, I'm dividing out like their total amount that they will pay me by 12 months so that I can have a more steady paycheck, even though I don't have, events every month. So that's how much I was able to take home in November, which was really great. And then miscellaneous income, we just had a little bit of miscellaneous income. We had $20.34, and I think this was from a Rakuten purchase. Rakuten used to be called, I don't remember what it used to be called, but it's just an online kind of cookie, what browser extension, I guess that's what it's called, that I have set up to where every time I purchase, I go through that, and sometimes they have like really good rewards and cash back. So that's a fun bonus every once in a while. So our total income for this month was $6,266.59. And it varies so differently from our budgeted income because my husband is self-employed. His income fluctuates a lot based on he's paid by the project. So however many projects he gets and completes, that's how much we see. So the first expense in our budget is always our tithes and offerings. So we give to our church, and this month we gave $575.55. And then we give to other ministries that we support and love for $172.40 this month, for a total of $747.95. And then our bills category, so our mortgage is always $1,200, and it just went up for like the next month because we got a different homeowner's insurance and it's $7 more. So I don't know what I didn't think that it would just change the number up because I have it set up. I think the payment's actually like $1,161 something, and I rounded it up to $1,200 because I liked the nice whole number and putting a little bit extra towards it. But now that it's added $7, it's increased our total number, and I'm like, this is not making my brain happy to look at the odd number, so I need to adjust it back down so that it's at $1,200 again. And then my phone bill was $44. This is just for my phone. And then our Wi-Fi bill. So we had kind of a saga at the end of October because we had Suddenlink and our Wi-Fi was down for over a week, which is really difficult because we both work from home, and it made things kind of impossible. So we switched to AT&T, but we had to end up paying for both services in the same month because we'd already paid the bill before we were able to cancel Suddenlink. So it ended up being $140.96, which is a bummer, but it's just the way I look at that is sometimes you just have higher one-time expenses, and that's okay. Hopefully now we will have reliable internet. And then electricity, I already knew this when I made this budget. It was $97.26. And water, sewer, trash was, I guessed on this one, but I was really close, $87.85. And then natural gas was $21.88, and I think this number will go up higher as we get into these colder months and we're using heat. Because our house is heated by gas. But last year when we had renters in the house, one of the months their gas bill was $147, and I am like, how was that even possible, guys? Like, did you have the heat on nonstop? Because I am not seeing how we could get that bill up that high, but hopefully we don't. And then car insurance was $152.91. Jared's health insurance is always $160.37. Our life insurance is $59.13. This is a policy for each of us, term life insurance. And my gym membership is $21.60. So the total in this category was $19.85. Ooh, and I'm really struggling writing these 8s today. I put that period in the wrong place, so I'm just going to white out my best friend here. $19.85.96. Okay, and then moving to our kind of variable expenses. So for grocery and household, we budgeted $450, sorry. And we would have we were so close to sticking to this, but we weren't able to. And we were actually at $476.64, and we hosted Thanksgiving this year, and I had planned for, like Thanksgiving costs, which I ended up spending way more on, but I hadn't really factored in that we would just need more groceries because we had people staying with us for meals that were not Thanksgiving, so I bought extra groceries for that. So I'm not too upset with this. And then eating out, we were almost under, but then at the very last day, we got this meal that was like $20. So we ended up going over, and we spent $198.80, which is sad, but sometimes that's just how it is. And then gas. I don't know what happened this month. I guess we each only filled up once, and didn't go very far, but we spent only $52.39. So that's great. And then Jared's allowance, he only spent $46.38, which is made up by me overspending, and I spent $110.34. And then subscriptions, we spent only $32.58. And then Thanksgiving in house. And I honestly, I don't know why, I totally forgot to write miscellaneous. I'm surprised I guess no one looks at the math when I do these, but when I wrote this out in my budget with me video, I totally forgot to write in miscellaneous 100, which is always in our budget, but I included it in that number. So no one's checking those numbers, I guess. But for Thanksgiving in house, so we ended up spending way more money on actual Thanksgiving food, but then also, because I'm the person that I am, I care very much about hosting things and making them look pretty, and so I ended up buying a bunch of things kind of last minute that I hadn't planned to buy. Like I got some chargers, I got a table runner, something else, some little decorations to make the day feel really nice, because that's really important to me. So we ended up spending $268.43 on that, so not great. And then miscellaneous, we only ended up spending $51.61 for a total of $1237.17. So not too bad. We're almost always, I honestly don't think I've ever been under in these variable expenses the budgeted amount, and I should work on that, trying to make sure, but I'm almost always above that. But this one's not too bad, only $47 above. So the next line item or section of our budget is our sinking funds, and this one every month I have to change because I always plan on doing a certain amount in them, and then things change during the month, and so where I have budget and actual, I just have to white this out. So I will start like that. So for home maintenance, we started with $361. We added $80. We should have added more, but we're just making some sacrifices right now to hit other areas. And then we only spent $5, and I could not tell you what that was spent on, but $5 even. So we ended with $375.61. And then for renovation, we started with $34.89. We added $50, and we're not doing any active big renovations, but we did put up some shelves and like a little wine rack before Thanksgiving because I wanted to have that all set up before people came, and that ended up being quite a bit more than I thought it would. It was $77.78, which I feel like happens with every home renovation. It's like something feels like a really small project, and then it just ends up costing so much money. But so glad we had put that money in because we ended with $711. And then travel. This is our big goal that we're working on right now outside of saving for our emergency fund because we are planning on going to Europe next summer. So we started the month with $1690.58, and we actually were able to add $560. Again, did some shuffling. So $560, and then we didn't spend any. So we ended with 2250.58. And then in addition to this money, because this is not, doesn't feel like a lot, we have some travel credits of about a little more than this, so that doubles this amount. And then we have about $1,000 in credit card points that we're planning on spending for that. So we actually have more than double this amount saved in total, but it's just in not cash assets. And then gifts, we started with nothing in this fund. We added 100 and spent 76.87, and this is on Christmas gifts. So I ended with 23.13, and I would have put those Christmas gifts in this Christmas category, but I will tell you what happened. So we started with $460. We added $80, and then we spent $483.78. And we actually spent more than this. So what happened here is we bought Christmas lights, and I was always planning on buying Christmas lights, but in my head, I was thinking that they would be way cheaper than they were. I don't know why I always do this, but when I made like a budget for Christmas, I was thinking, $50 per gift per person, or $50 like per person, and then like $100 to $200 on lights and decorations, but that was not the case. So we spent about $100 on like garlands and wreaths for the outside of the house, because this is our first year in a home, so we had to like do new Christmas decorations for the outside. And then for lights, I was going to buy them online, but everything that I was reading had terrible reviews. So I actually ordered like commercial lights from a guy in our neighborhood who gets them. He's a firefighter, and I don't know if this is everywhere, but at least here in Texas, it's very popular for people, mostly firefighters, to have these businesses where they come and they provide you like nice lights, commercial grade LED Christmas lights, and they put them up for you, and then they take them down too. And so I really just wanted to buy the lights through him, but you couldn't do that. You have to also pay for him to set them up, which was $175 for him to set them up, and then he'll take them down, and he's supposed to do it every year, but we'll just do it ourselves next year. But he told us it would be $400, which was already a lot, but because we had switched to internet, we got a $250 reward card, and I was like, well, I'll just add that back into our budget and kind of offset the cost of other portions, like use that to pay for our regular budget and act as if the Christmas lights only cost $150, because that's what I wanted to spend no matter what. But then after he finished, he told us it was going to be $525, which was so much more, and I wish that I had gotten an invoice to see like what he would have charged us for before, because I just don't really know, and we kind of felt like taken advantage of, but he'd already done it, so we had to pay. So I still like allocated that $250 off, but it doubled the cost basically of what I thought I was spending, and we spent that $100 on like wreaths and garlands for the outside of the house. And it looks really pretty. I'm so excited and happy about it, but it was way more expensive than I had anticipated it being. So we spent, most of our Christmas fund, and we're left with $56.22. So I didn't want to put the Christmas gifts in this category for this month because we had some money in the gift fund, and I was like, I don't want to go into the negative on this. So to make a short story long, that's what happened. So not the best budget-friendly choice, but sometimes, and this is kind of how we feel about everything, is that you can buy nice or you can buy twice. And I just had so many bad reviews about store-bought Christmas lights that I didn't want to spend so much. I was going to end up spending $300 on them anyway, and then to have them break. So these ones are really good, and they're supposed to last 10 years. So that's what I'm hopeful for. And then health. So we started the month with $535.56. We added $50. We spent $73.56 because Jared got sick and had to go to the doctor. So that's like the copay because he has terrible insurance. And we ended with $512 even. And then for auto, this was a really big bummer. We started with $301.85. We'd planned to add $100, but Jared's registration was up this month, so he had to get it inspected. And they told him he needed 2 new tires, and he had literally just gotten 2 new tires on the other tires like last month, and he needed a new tail light to pass inspection, which was going to be $73 plus like $230 for new tires. So we ended up spending $397.02, and this was after last month. Let me see how much we spent last month, because it was like just a very similar amount to this again because of his 2 new tires. Let's see. Yeah, last month we spent $454.78 on auto. So I was really irritated by that. Not, at Jared, just at kind of the situation, because $2 2 months like completely blew through that auto sinking fund, but I had to reframe and think, okay, that's what the fund is for. Like, it's meant to be used for that, so it's okay to spend it. And it's a blessing that we had it, and that this not even didn't like have to be put on a credit card or use our emergency fund, but we didn't even have to use our regular budget. Like, we had money saved specifically for that. So it was okay, but now we only have 79.83 in there, and my registration is up in December, so I'm just hoping that we don't have anything that needs to be done to fix that to get it up to par. But we have older cars and they're paid off, so yeah, sometimes we have car expenses, but we don't have any car payments, so that's totally fine. So the total amount in our sinking funds that we started the month with was $332,349, and then we changed this. We added $1,095, and then we spent $1,100. I need to add 3 ones. $1,114.01. A lot of ones. So we ended with 3,304.48. And this is the first month that I think I've had to take money out of the sinking funds instead of add. I keep all of this in one bank account, and what I do is at the beginning of the month I say like I'm adding this to that savings account, but because you can only transfer twice a quarter penalty free from that savings account to the checking account, what I actually do is just see what we spend, because we always spend from some category over the month, and then at the end of the month I use a spreadsheet to track what the ending amount should be, and then I see like, okay, what's the difference between the end and the start, and then I move that money over to that savings account. So if that makes sense. So this was the first month I had to take money out of it instead. But it is okay. And then savings. So we started the month in our investment accounts with $8,654.55. And this is like, we each have a Roth IRA, which are newer. I started Jared's Roth IRA earlier this year, and I've had mine for a couple years, but for a really long time I was just putting like $5 a week into it because I had a lower income and I was really focusing on paying off debt. And it's not our biggest focus right now, so we're definitely not putting as much as we should be towards like this category, but we're trying to beef this up a little bit more. So we planned to add $302, and we actually added $414 even, which is we want to be at double that, but we're working our way up. And we ended this, so what I do is I start with where the market was, and I end with where we actually ended with the market. So we should, based on this, be over 9,000, but at the end of November, the market was really down, so we actually ended with 85.87, which is a bummer to look at because the number has gone down even though we added $400, but we're not planning on taking that money out of the market anytime soon, so I'm not too worried about it. And then our emergency fund, which is kind of where we're putting every extra penny right now, so we have a zero-based budget. We started the month with $84.29.13, and we planned to add 68. We were actually able to add $786.51 due to extra income that came in. And we ended the month with $92.15.64. And our goal right now, so when we finished paying off debt, we had $5,000 in the emergency fund, and that was this summer. And our goal was to get it up to the next kind of step, which was $10,000. In addition to, we keep about 1 month of expenses, or $3,500 as a checking account buffer. So when we get to $10,000, we will kind of set that aside and work on other things, and then I think we'll probably take it back and try to get to $15,000 later. And this is because we rely so much on self-employment income, so I think we should have a higher checking or savings account balance. So, but it does take so much from, we're working on so many different goals right now, so it's so hard when you're allocating, $780 to that to hit the other goals as fast as I'm trying. But so we started total with savings 17,083.68, and I don't even include anywhere my checking account buffer. I like to pretend that money doesn't exist so we don't spend it or think of it as money that we have. So until I do like my net worth updates, which I think I've got one coming up soon, but we were actually able to add $1,251, so we ended the month with 17 $803.33. So that is a zero-based budget. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you are interested in seeing more videos like this, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.
I don't wanna stay here, no. Ain't gonna keep it low.